suffering. There is no doubt about it. Very often people ask, how long should we repeat the name of the Lord to remove our pains and sorrows? But we should not consider our worship to be a business deal. We have taken years to reach the miserable situation that we are at the moment. At least give the Lord some time. Therefore, constantly repeat the name of the Lord. The Lord is certainly ever ready to steal away our troubles and problems. But as Tulsidas ji very carefully points out, we must meditate on the Lord with our mind, action and speech. We do worship and repeat the name of the Lord, but mechanically, only in speech, while our mind wanders in different directions. Moreover, our sincerity is not expressed in our actions. Hence, with our mind full of devotion, we must meditate on Him with love constantly and consistently. With our speech, ever singing His glories and His names, and our bodies expressing our worship through service in the world around us. Let us not wait for troubles to come to us before turning to the Lord. He who always remembers the Lord, no suffering can come to him. As Kabir Das ji so beautifully puts it in one of his dohas or couplets, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koe, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, to dukh kahe ko hoye. Alas, everyone remembers the Lord only in times of sorrow, never in times of happiness. If one were to remember Him during times of happiness, which in fact has been gained by His grace, then where would there be any cause for sorrow? The truth is, sorrow comes only when we forget the Lord. In the remembrance of the Lord, there is bliss and happiness, in which all pains and sorrows come to an end. In the self-forgetfulness of that happiness, pains and sorrows cannot even be recognized. If our problems and pains are still persisting, let us check whether our devotion and our practice of remembering Him and repeating His name is regular and constant. Miracles do happen. Even the most incurable diseases can be cured, and the most difficult situations resolved by faith in His grace. However, let us also remember that there are certain pains and sorrows that are essential for us to grow. There are certain difficulties which are necessary for us to progress. All these exist for us because of our present imperfections. But by His grace, we can have the strength to bear and face them. And when we can bear, no pain is pain, no problem is a problem. Always remember, He knows what is best for us. There was once a king who had a loyal minister who always used to say, "It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best." Once during a tiger hunt, the king and the minister were separated from the army and got lost in the dense forest. It was getting dark, and as usual, all the minister had to say was, "It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best." The king could not see what good there was in getting lost in the forest at night, with the tigers now prowling, perhaps to hunt them. In the darkness of the thick forest, the king's horse tripped, and the king fell and broke his little finger. As usual, all the minister had to say was, "It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best." The king was furious, but could not afford to kill the minister, as otherwise he would be alone. Thirsty, tired and hungry, they reached a well, which was deep, but had very little water. Again, all the minister had to say was, "It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best." The king could no longer bear, and he pushed the minister right into the well. As the minister was falling into the well, his voice echoed, "It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best." Enraged and exasperated, the king walked away from the well and wandered about in the forest. Suddenly, a tribe of cannibals, well known for offering human sacrifices to their gods, swooped down on him and picked up the now wailing king. After all, the appropriate ceremonies at the sacrificial altar, when the sword was about to fall on the king's neck, one of the cannibals exclaimed, "Stop! Our gods will be offended, for our sacrifice is damaged. He is without a finger." At those extremely tense moments, the king felt revived, and the voice of his loyal minister reverberated in his mind. It is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best. He remembered the well and that the water in it was shallow. Again, indeed, that was the grace of the Lord. He ran back, hoping to pull out his minister and friend, and was relieved to find him still alive, but of course shivering with cold and bitten by insects. The king apologized to the minister and said, "Now I have understood your words. However, why did a holy man like you, full of faith, have to suffer? Could you say that this too was the Lord's wish and that it was for the best? What good happened to you?" The minister replied, "My dear king, if I had not been in this well all night and was still with you, you would have been saved because of your finger, but by now I would certainly have been dead. It was certainly my Lord's gracious wish, and it was truly for the best." And what was the good of their getting lost in the first place? Can you tell? The king learnt a most important lesson, and the greatness of his simple minister was recognized. Therefore, never forget that whatever happens in life, it is the Lord's wish. Everything that happens, happens for the best. Sab par Ram tapasvi Raja, the ascetic king Shri Ram, the supreme ruler of all, Tinke kaaj sakal tum saja, you accomplished all his missions. Aur manorath jo koi lave, whoever come to you for fulfillment of any desire, so he amit jeevan phal pave, achieves unlimited results in life. There has been no king as great, as powerful, and as noble as Shri Ram. Whenever we speak of a king, the ideal example is Shri Ram, and we speak of a kingdom, it is Ram Rajya. Not only as a king, but as the Lord of the universe, he is indeed Para, or the highest. A king may be very powerful, have mighty weapons and a large army, but faced with the power of austerity, he becomes insignificant. Vishwamitra, the powerful king, with all his artillery, could not conquer the great ascetic sage Vashishtji. Ramchandraji was not only the most powerful king, but also a great tapasvi or ascetic. At the same time, he was the Lord of the universe. But even his mighty tasks, O Hanuman Ji, you fulfilled. Therefore, what is it that you cannot do? Anyone who comes to you with any desire of his mind will surely get immeasurable results by your grace. But we must always remember that the loving Lord, like the loving mother, gives us only that which is good for us, never that which is harmful, even though in our childishness we may stubbornly insist on it in our prayers. Charo jug par taap tumhara, your glory is acclaimed in all the four yugas. Hai par siddha jagat ujiyara, and your radiance is spread all over the cosmos. Sadhu sant ke tum rakhware, you are the protector of saints and sages. Asura nikandana Ram dulare, the destroyer of the negative forces, and you are extremely dear to Lord Ram. Hanuman Ji, you not only existed in the Treta Yuga, but your dynamic and inspiring presence is felt in all the four yugas: Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kal Yuga. In short, in all ages. And your blessings can be gained at all times. There is no one as famous as you. It is true that even today there are more temples of Hanuman Ji than there are of any other deity, including those of his Lord and Master Shri Ram. In each and every Ram temple, a Hanuman Ji will certainly be found, but in a Hanuman temple, there is no need to keep the images of Shri Ram and Sita, for they are ever present in the heart of Hanuman Ji. The favorite of devotees, the ideals of many, the most lovable of all, O Hanuman Ji, you are always there to encourage and bless the good, and to frighten away all evil and negative forces. Indeed, because of your love, compassion and goodness, you have become so extremely dear to the Lord, just as a sweet little pet child to his grandparents. May I always remember you, and your blessings ever shower abundantly on me. Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi Ke Data, may you be the giver of the 8 Siddhis and the 9 Nidhis. Asbara Deena Janaki Mata, so Mother Janaki blessed you. Rama Rasayana Tumhare Pasa, the nectar of devotion to Shri Ram be ever with you. Sada Raho Raghupati Ke Dasa, may you always remain in the service of Shri Ram. When Hanuman Ji found Sita Ji in Lanka and presented her with the life-giving message of Shri Ram, Sita Ji, the mother of the universe, showered her blessings upon Hanuman Ji. She not only gave him the 8 great yogic siddhis such as Anima, the power to become small and subtle, Mahima, to become large, Garima, to become very heavy, Laghima, to become light and fly, Prapti, to gain and materialize anything, Prakamya, to take any form, Ishitva, to rule over, and Vashitva, to bring things and beings under one's control, all of which Hanumanji already had to great extent. But much more than that, Mother Sita blessed Hanumanji and made him a giver of such boons, including the 9 nidhis, or the 9 great treasures of the universe, the richness of which is simply beyond comprehension. In other places, these 9 treasures have been described as the 9 forms of devotion, namely Shravanam, listening to the glories of the Lord, Kirtanam, singing the glories of the Lord, Smaranam, remembering Him constantly in the mind, Pada Sevanam, service of His lotus feet, Archanam, offering of flowers, Vandanam, praises, Dasyam, attitude of being His servant, Sakhyam, friendship with the Lord, and Atmanivedanam, total surrender to the Lord. When Mother Janaki gave Hanumanji all the mighty powers and the riches of the universe, Hanumanji was not pleased. Sitaji wondered, I have given him so much, and yet not a smile of appreciation on his face. It was then that she said, Rama Rasayana Tumhare Pasa, Sada Raho Raghupati Ke Dasa, may the nectar of devotion ever be with you. May you always remain in his service, and may you become extremely dear to him. Hanumanji immediately prostrated and accepted the boons. There is something of great importance we can learn from here. Sitaji or Janaki is none other than Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Both Ravan and Hanumanji sought Sitaji, but whereas Ravan wanted to enjoy Sita separated from Shri Ram, Hanumanji sought Mother Lakshmi only in the service of Shri Ram. The result was that she burned the entire golden city of Lanka, while without even being asked for it, she blessed Hanumanji with all the power and richness possible. In our Bharatiya culture, wealth has never been condemned. In fact, we worship wealth as the very consort of the Lord of the universe Narayana in the form of Mother. If only we could maintain that attitude towards wealth, we would never misuse it. We would neither bet her in gambling dens, nor slide her over bar tables, nor prostitute her in nightclubs. Another important attribute of Lakshmi is that she is chanchal and chapalam. Wealth never remains at one time and one place, restless and fickle as she is. There is only one way wealth will follow you instead of you have to chase her. That is, if you understand, Mother Lakshmi never leaves the feet of Lord Narayana. Keep Lord Narayana in the heart through the constant service of his people. Then wealth will come after you. Mother Lakshmi will beg of you to use her in the service of her Lord. Wealth earned by the wrong means and hoarded for selfish motives, the way Ravana did, leads only to self-destruction. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Our rishis have advised that such wealth is disastrous. Understand that it is a mighty force that can burn your life's empire. However, Mother Lakshmi, as sought by Hanuman Ji with reverence and in accordance with the wishes of the Lord, free from greed and desire, such wealth can give the greatest blessings. Tumhare bhajan Ram ko pave. By worshipping you, one attains Shri Ram. Janam janam ke dukh bisrave, and is freed of the sorrows of countless lives. Antakal Raghuvir Harashi, and after death enters the eternal abode of Shri Ram, Jahan Janma Hari Bhakt Kahai, or if he takes a new birth, he remains ever a devotee of Shri Ram. The devotee and the Lord are one. That is why, by worshipping Hanuman Ji, one attains the supreme happiness, the Lord Shri Ram. There is another reading to this line. Tumhare bhajan Ram ko bhave. One who worships you is also dear to the Lord. In the world, someone may look up to you and another may look up to your dear child. Tell me, who would be dearer to you? In the same way, the devotee who worships Hanuman Ji is extremely dear to the Lord. There is another secret here, that while the Lord is all compassionate, it is comparatively easier to please his devotee, for his devotee is said to be even more compassionate than the Lord. As he has gone through the difficulties of the spiritual life and the path himself, the devotee understands our problems with greater sympathy, and therefore by the grace of the devotee, the Lord is easily gained. Likewise, by that grace, the sorrows of countless lives come to an end, to the extent that one even forgets he ever had such sorrows. Janam janam ke dukh bisrave. Antakal Raghuvir Harashi. At death, a devotee who has worshipped Hanuman Ji attains the highest blissful abode of Sri Ramchandra Ji. If, however, for some reason or the other, he were to be born again, such will be his devotion for the Lord that it will be declared and recognized in the world, as was the devotion of Mirabai, Tukaram and others. Aur devata chit na dharai. Other heavenly denizens may not heed. Hanumat se hi sarva sukha karai. But one who serves you, O Hanuman Ji, enjoys all pleasures. Sankat kate mite sab pira. All difficulties are overcome and all pains come to an end. Jo sumire Hanumat balabira. Of him who remembers you, O mighty Hanuman. All heavenly devatas have been given by the Lord power to bestow boons and blessings on those who invoke them. But these devatas, engrossed in themselves, will not constantly think of our individual welfare and happiness. But Hanuman Ji, you are one who cares. Therefore, why should I think of any other deity besides you? Once I have accepted you as my Lord, why should I run to other deities to seek blessings from them, when every pleasure and happiness can be gained by your grace, and all difficulties can be obliterated and pains transcended by the mere remembrance of you? This should not be understood as a statement of fanaticism, but rather understanding the human psychology and the oneness of the Lord in all forms. The rishis have advised that once you hold on to a form, then worship the Lord with devotion in that form only, seeking the fulfillment of your desires from Him and Him alone. Again, all Devtas have only limited powers, while by the grace of Ramchandra ji and Sita ji, Hanuman ji has been bestowed with infinite powers. At the same time, all the Devtas had also blessed Hanuman ji with their individual powers to please Pavan Devata, who angrily stopped the movement of air when Indra Devta hit his son Hanuman ji with the Vajra when Hanuman ji reached for the sun. Therefore, all wishes can be fulfilled by this all-powerful yet humble devotee of Shri Ram. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. Victory to you, O Hanuman ji, the Lord of the senses. Victory to you again and again. Kripa karau Gurudev ki nahi. Please be as compassionate to me as my Shri Gurudev. The senses, which are like cows that wander into the field of sense objects and graze, are indeed very difficult to control. You, O Hanuman ji, are the one who has conquered all your senses. O Goswami, please, out of your unconditional compassion, like a teacher or a guru has for his disciple, help me to conquer these wild senses and mind of mine. There is no one as compassionate and loving as one's spiritual teacher or guru, who is ready to correct, bear and forget all the mistakes of the disciple, perfect him and bestow on him supreme happiness. Hanuman ji, you are my guru, and therefore, with that supreme compassion, even though I am devoid of all virtues, without service or devotion, and absolutely undeserving, please shower your blessings on me out of your infinite kindness. Kripa karau Gurudev ki nahi. The word kripa, which has been translated as compassion or kindness, has no equivalent in the English language. The best explanation is found in Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's commentary on the verses glorifying the Guru in the scripture entitled Viveka Chudamani, which says, Kripa can at best be described as an attitude of sympathy, cooked in kindness, honeyed with love, and served on golden platters of understanding. After having glorified Shri Hanuman ji with great devotion, Tulsidas ji now gives the Phala Shruti, or the fruits that can be gained through the regular singing of Shri Hanuman Chalisa.